Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Missing Members. I am James with the games, and I am here to bring you a run through of 20XX. I said in the previous game that I was going to record Callie's Caves next. I went ahead and I had a horrible accident when recording Callie's Caves, rendering the entire footage unusable. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch characters from Nina to Ace because, simply put, I cannot seem to play this game as Nina well. And I'm going to do this on casual since I am not good enough to do this in regular mode. And I am going to be using a Mass Concentrator, an Excalibur, and a Thrift Oxen as my 3 items. Why? Because of the fact that I'm a kind of person that I'm going to be very frank, I never use the powers in this game. And I'm getting Centerbeak as my first level. I really like it if I get an Agnazort level is my first level, because of the fact I consider the Agnazort level the hardest to do late game compared to the others. And I will say I have completed this game twice on casual mode. Okay, darn it, more health. Sometimes this game loves giving you health, and sometimes it gives you absolutely nothing. So little about this game. This game is 20XX. It is a it is a Mega Man-like platformer, and there's a fire spew up here. And except that there are bonuses hidden throughout the level, sort of like this gold chest right here. And it has a power enhancer. That increases your power strength. Which, as I said, I never use the powers in this game. And I repeat, I never use the powers. Since I've noticed that Ace's regular attack does a lot more damage than most powers can. And anyways, this was a glory zone. A glory zone gives you a specific set of instructions such as don't use powers, don't dash, or don't take damage, or don't attack. And if you do so, you get a core augment. A core augment affects your base stats and improves them. I got Owlleaf's Talon, which your charged attacks might restore energy. I don't use charged attacks a whole lot either, and I just got an armor capsule plus 2 armor. There's a lot to explain in this game, possibly, and I'm going to do my best to try and explain it all, and I see a path off to the left. Paths off to the left typically mean either a really good item or a sock. And what do I get? Charge nuts. Charge nuts may restore energy. This I find completely useless since I am not a power player. And each level, oh wait, we don't get to see this level's unique attribute because of the fact that it didn't roll this time. Basically, each stage has a bit of a unique attribute, and this is Centerbeak. You can get any one of 6 of the 8 bosses as your first boss. The only 2 you cannot get are the 2 Sky Temple bosses. Oh, and I got a Shockwave Sidekick as my first drop. And I always pick up the nut stack. Yes, that is what the item actually is my bonus for each level. Next step, you get 3 options to choose as the boss for your next level. So we have Vile Visage, the Twin Astrals, or Kerr the Gatekeeper. Note this is another Froster stage, this is the Vaculab, and this is the Sky Temple. I always prioritize Sky Temple and Agnesort stages before the Vaculab and Frostor stages, because of health does not drop as much in Sky Temple or Agnesort stages, I've noticed. And that enemy down there is a laser shooter. I don't like those things, not because of they're annoying, but because of the fact that every so often you have one that just seemingly likes to want to fly where you will not be able to hit it no matter what. And that's what that one's doing. And so, this is basically a Mega Man clone, in which Nina's Mega Man and Ace is Zero. And note, a lot of the different enemies don't actually follow Mega Man tropes. But it's a Mega Man clone, believe me. Oh, and seeing platforms like this that go ahead and go down means that there's also something hidden down here. And a gold chest, and we get the Oxtrax Ken! Which increases bonus rewards if I am fast. You see the little timer up in the top right? And I'm just dark on it. Top right, if I get below that, if that timer does not reach 0, I get a bonus reward at the end of the level. That's what got me the Nut Collector at the end of the last day. But if you manage to do it with the Oxford 10 on, you get a really good reward no matter what. And this one was no damage, and I succeeded, and I got the Draco Pen's Pride. Attack kills me, they restore health. And daggone it, a Mace Knight ambushed me as soon as I got out. And more nuts! I will say, however, I will not be purely playing Steam games for my Let's Plays. I will be doing a lot of console games, but at current, it's the middle of the summer right now, and my consoles are in a place in which, basically, I'd be absolutely stinking miserable if I tried to record anything right now. And that's the way forward. That means I want to go up this way. Oh, and there's a shop here. Perfect timing. And note, because of iBot got the, whatchamacallit, the thrift actuator, that means all of these items are always half price. And unfortunately, I got a really crummy roll on items. The only thing of use here is the mass marginalizer. Because of the fact this increases energy and this increases energy found. I don't really need either of those things. And then I fell right into a bottomless pit here. That's why I don't really like the Sky Temple. Way too many bottomless pits. And here's the boss door, everyone. And I am going to go in this at half health because the Kerr is not too difficult if he's the second or one of the first 3 bosses. Now, no, it's impossible to get Kerr as your first boss in Scat. And Kerr's dead! His main spiel is that he either charges you across the screen, or... Oh, this one's difficult, actually. Depends upon what I get is the speed bonus. More stinking hell! More nuts and more hell. Okay, I'm actually going to grab the nut stack again. And who do I have? The Vile Visage, the Twin Astrals, and the Perforator. I'm going to do the Perforator next because of Agnesort. If you do Agnesort levels later, the amount of flame traps they throw at you is insane. The two times that I managed to beat this game, I had Shatterbeak and the Twin Astrals is my final opponent. Note, whoever you get is your final boss will have a unique setup when you fight them as the final boss. And I'm going to get the Sign Your Token and the Heart Container here. And since I have nothing better to do... Oh, darn, I only got 1 health out of that. Vending machines can blow up on you in this game. They won't do damage, but that means you can't use them anymore. Anyways, the reason I got that Shiny Your Token is because the fact that at the end of the level, you can go ahead and either receive a health, an energy, or an health energy nut converter, or, oh great, a nut don't attack one. I can't even do this one, so I fail that. Or a slot machine. The slot machine always gives you one random thing that's usually pretty good. Although note, that does not automatically mean one good passive upgrade. You can roll the slot machine and get like 20 nuts. And what do you have? More health and armor! And you can roll like 10... Oh geez. And note, whenever you see a glowing enemy like this, you want to attack the living daylights out of it. These are... Well, I'm just gonna call them elites. How the heck are you supposed to get up there? And now... Oh gee. And, oh, the Obstacle Guile! Run speed and jump height. This is something that I also really like getting. Anyways, another thing about this game is if you get all 4 parts of a set of armor, you get an additional bonus. However, I don't have those bonuses memorized because of the fact that I've only managed to do that one time, which was with the Obstack armor. And the Obstack armor full set allows you to dash infinitely in mid-air, which is pretty useful. And I think the Draco Pet armor, when you get all sets of that, all regular shots become charged shots. I don't know what the Owlhawk and the Armatorch set does. The Armatorch set basically looks like Mega Man's armor. I kid you not, it's pretty faithful to that. And I just want to open that crate up there. Why can't I jump straight? And now we're at the boss, and I did go to a soft early on a level. I don't pay 5 nuts to go to a soft mode one thing. And this is the Perforator's main spiel. He goes around the room and shoots in circles. And I died to the Perforator. And since I died here, I am going to see you in the next Let's Play. If everyone likes what I did here, I will go ahead and do additional runs of this game. But this game is set up in which you're supposed to die in it. You very rarely win. As I said, I've only had 2 winning runs out of around, I want to say, close to 120. Well, like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, so come aboard and board the Starship LP, where I hope, no matter what we play, it is always entertaining. And it opens your eyes to a new world of possibilities. Until next time, guys!